says, we're live. How are
Awesome.
you? How
I'm
are
good.
you?
I'm good. How are
Welcome.
you, Julie?
And I want to introduce Jill McNamee. Am I saying your name?
McNamee. McNamee. It's close.
McNamee. It's
Yeah.
just like it's spelled, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And I noticed Jill's videos that she was producing. Are those reels that you're doing? Or
Well, yeah, no, what we're doing is I'm lucky enough to have one of my team members on my real estate team is a videographer.
Mhm.
I started out doing those videos about probably 7 years ago, and
Cool.
I didn't have anyone on my team that could do video at that time, but I knew I wanted to get out there. So I used to, I had a videographer that I hired to do it,
Mhm.
and he would bring his camera and set everything up, and it got really expensive fast, and so I kind of was non-consistent with it.
Yeah.
And now that I have someone on my team that can do it, he's actually shooting it from I think he's using a GoPro
Wow.
camera.
Wow.
Yeah, but we started out doing with his iPhone, and then he would just convert it to whatever, and then we're putting them out on Instagram, Facebook. I have a new marketing person on my team, so hopefully he can take snippets from them and maybe make them into reels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So these are going primarily on where? YouTube?
Well, they are going on YouTube, yes, and then I believe from there we're sharing them on Facebook and Instagram. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to share screen real quick if you don't mind, and
Yeah,
I'm
for
show
sure.
everybody the
Yeah,
video that we're talking about that I put into the group. Let me
sure.
see, share screen here. I got it kind of all queued up a little bit right here. Awesome entry.
Thanks.
Hi there. I am down here with Mimi at Mimi's Cookies and Creamery in good old River Falls on Elm Street. Welcome, Mimi.
Welcome, Jill.
Thanks for letting us come down today and hear about what you're doing down at Mimi's.
I always love having you,
I
and thank you so
know.
much.
It's my favorite. So if any of our viewers have seen or been to St. Croix Valley Girls, they've eaten here amazing food. So tell us more about what you have to offer here at the shop. I know you do ice cream, cookies.
Anyway, I think it came out good. I won't go the whole 6 minutes.
Yeah, that one actually got a little long because she's a dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
And what we're noticing too is when we have refrigerators or freezer cases,
Uh-huh.
the sound isn't quite as crisp. But yeah, so that's the whole gist of it.
That's cool. Now,
Yeah.
you had said, now, how do you come up with, now this gives you the opportunity to reach out to all your local shops and vendors and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. So the reason I sort of started it is just because I am in a community of 30,000 people. It's Hudson, Wisconsin, which is pretty tiny. And so I sort of have built my marketing plan around, being the mayor of your town and wanting, you want to make sure everyone knows who you are, what you do. And in a small town of 30,000 people, it's doable, right? Because there's, it's a small community. So I also, my favorite part about doing the video is the lead generation that I get to do by providing the service to them, because it's really easy to walk into a new business and say, hey, I'm Jill McNamee. I'm a local realtor in town. I do this video series called The Local Dish. It's totally free for your business. It gives you great exposure and it helps me at the same time. Are you interested in a free video?
Mhm.
And it's kind of gotten to the point too now where people in the community see the video and will reach out to me and say, hey, I see that video series that you do. How do we go about getting on the list for that?
Nice.
And they assume that it costs money and they're like, well, how much does that cost? And so it's a great way to build rapport and get to know new business owners in the community, and just sort of start building a relationship with them.
Mhm.
because I have that value that I'm bringing when I first meet them. It's not like me going in there saying, hey, I'm a realtor. Do you have a referral for me?
Right.
They get to know me through the course of putting together the video. So
Yes.
it kind of fast tracks the relationship, right?
I'll
they're
bet.
already trusting of me because I'm offering them something of value and I'm doing something nice for them. So yeah.
So these are mainly posted on YouTube.
Yep.
And you'll share them to other platforms.
Yep. Other social media.
Are you repurposing them any other way?
Yeah, well, so we also will email them to our database. So it's just
good.
like touch,
Good.
we also send them out to our database via email. And
Uh-huh.
then I sometimes will replay ones that were done 5 years ago.
Yeah.
If I feel like, the content is still valid and that business is still, and then they love that because it's like they just got a double shot of exposure.
Yeah.
And I started recording these videos 7 years ago, so I have enough of them that I can put them out multiple times, and people are not going to be like, oh, I just saw that video last week.
Right.
If I released it 6 or 7 years ago, people will not remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always smart to try to repurpose some of that content. Otherwise, you get burnt out if you don't. You
I
take a
know.
break at some point, just a reprieve.
Yep.
Let's rerun some reruns.
Yes. The thing that I find interesting about it, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit, but there's certain people who don't want to participate because they don't like being on camera.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge that I'm working on overcoming. My video guy and I together are like, okay, could we potentially shoot a video and just do their voice as a voiceover? And still be able to put a video out of their business, and by just doing some panning in on different shots while they're talking, so they don't have to be on video, because so many people are camera shy, which I hate being on video too, but I had to just get over myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, do you want to get the benefit of it, or so I've learned to, even though I don't love how I look and how I sound on video, you got to do it anyway, because I sometimes think like the less the more raw it is, the more people enjoy watching it, because you're not like this perfect newscaster type persona.
I think so too. I think get it out there. That's what's more important.
Yeah.
Done is better than perfect, huh?
Exactly. And I'm trying to like keep that in my mind while I'm doing it. So
do you ever batch your content? Do you try and do a couple in 1 week or something?
Yep.
Batch them?
Yep. So we only shoot on Mondays, which is really really helpful for both Dave, my videographer, and myself, to just know that, then I know I have to wear the red coat. I either wear red or black. I'm trying to just kind of brand myself that way with what I'm wearing. But yeah, and then it makes it a lot easier to sort of silo it into just Mondays, knowing that, okay, if we don't have videos to do this Monday, we might have 4 to do the following Monday. Like the one that we just watched with Mimi, that was the second one in the day that we went from one other place to her to shoot that. So but doing more than 2 a day gets to be a little tiring and overwhelming, just because
yeah.
So I usually don't usually do more than 2 a day, but
yeah. Kelly is asking, who did your video intro?
Yeah, my video person, he's also very good at editing. So here's an idea for you, and I wish I would have thought of this 7 years ago when I first started doing this. But, if you have a local college that might have some interns, you could look for a video intern person who just wants to get like experience. And they might be willing to work with you on that for really reduced cost.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But when I first started doing it, I partnered with a local video guy who was building his business, and I was paying $500 a video.
Wow.
And now the guy on my team who's doing them, he's also a realtor on my team. So he's doing them for me at a very I'm really lucky. Like he's doing them for me at a really reduced cost.
Good.
Because he knows that by being on my team, he's getting leads from them, you know. So yeah. Yep. So it's a great way for you to just, like I said, lead generate, meet new people in the community, and just put yourself out there, you know, without.
One thing I want to circle back on is the fact that you said you have either a red jacket or black jacket. People tease me because they only see me in a black shirt when I'm online. And I said, there's a method to my madness. You know, I probably have 24 black shirts. Shirts, right? And I started it for continuity, of course, but it eliminates what am I going to wear today?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Throw on a black shirt and I'm good to go. I don't have to think about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's a great idea to keep the continuity in the videos. You know?
Well, people will start to recognize you for that. And that's why when I first started doing the videos, I wasn't doing that. I would just like get dressed that day and be like, okay, I'm going to wear this blazer or whatever. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I really should be branding myself as, you know, this is Jill, that she's always wearing red, whatever. And I
love that concept.
I think it makes a lot of sense. And you're right. It makes anything we can do in our life that's going to make it easier and more efficient. You know, it's like, why not? Like, just wear red. Wear black.
Yes.
So,
now, you also mentioned that you have an Airbnb, and that's
I do.
Some of the things that we connected with online.
Yes. I live in Wisconsin. And I have a house in Cape Coral. Yeah. So that we rent out and you know, that's going to be my retirement. My plan is to continue buying houses in Florida until I'm making enough income to retire from real estate, you know.
So how long have you had that Airbnb?
We've had that one for, let's see, 2 years. We just passed our 2-year anniversary. Yeah. So we kind of bought it during COVID year when the world shut down. We're buying a house in Florida, which was a little scary, but it all worked out. So
yeah. Well, you probably had a good 2021, right? That was a hot market for Airbnb last year.
Yeah. Where's yours?
Is it tapering off a little bit with the economy?
Not really. We're still pretty booked. I mean, we already have bookings into 2023. So, but you know, sometimes we go in spurts where the calendar will be, you know, look empty, and me and my partner, my son is my business partner, you know, we'll be kind of like, oh no, do we need to be worried here? And then, you know, it always, people book last minute. So
the law of attraction, right?
I know, exactly.
So just manifest some bookings.
Julie, where's your property at?
I'm in Cocoa.
Oh, okay.
Florida. Yep. The other side there on Cocoa. And I do have one in North Carolina, a mountain cabin in North Carolina that we actually have owned the cabin. I mean, that was my husband's mother's cabin, and she has passed away in 2010, but they've owned it in the family probably 20-25 years.
Wow.
You know? And it's just been our cabin getaway. We never rented it. You know, we would let friends stay for free.
Yeah.
But then this year I thought, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to Airbnb that bad boy.
Yeah. And I bet it's renting really well too.
We just got it up and running.
Yeah.
So we're ready to book it for the fall. You know, a nice fall season. So it's up for this fall, the first time as a rental.
I'm sure that's going to be great.
And then my unit in Cocoa is actually an arbitrage.
Oh.
I ended up leasing the property from the owner and then turning it into an Airbnb. It was a client that we had the year of COVID. We had it on the market and had it under contract, and it was probably 21. And he ended up having title problems, and it had to go through probate. So it's still going through probate now. So I made him an offer. Hey, I'll rent it from you.
Right.
And this is what I'm going to do with it. And he knows me and trusts me. So it was a comfortable relationship. So we got up and running with that. And we had a pretty good year with that. I was like, I was excited. I'm like, okay, we can do this.
So now
have I done this before?
Right. Now, do you pay him a portion of the profits then too?
I entered into a lease agreement. Nope. I pay him flat.
Nice.
And it rents for $240 a day.
Wow.
So it works out well.
And how much are you paying a month for it?
$1,500.
Okay.
I rent it. And
that's amazing.
$200 to $240 a day.
That is truly amazing.
Depending on the season. So we had a really good, we're coming into our winter season, as you know, which is our market in Florida.
Right.
So I think with short-term rentals, even going into a recession, it might not be as hot as it was in 2021, but I think it's still going to be solid. Especially if people start to get out and travel a little bit more, because we aren't stuck with just thinking about people who travel in the United States, because we have people who come from Canada, Europe, so I think you'll always have people who have and people who, unfortunately have not during the recession, but those who have will continue their travels.
Exactly. So, and Florida is just one of those destinations.
Florida is just the tourist capital of the world,
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been having fun with it. I've helped two of my investors pick up some Airbnb units and manage their units for them as well.
Oh, okay.
So I do co-hosting and I do short-term property management. So it's been working out well this year. I'm glad,
That's good.
I feel like it's important to have multiple streams of income.
Me too. I'm working on that as well. Yeah.
So let's see, you are with Keller Williams, right?
So I am with Keller Williams, and I have a small team here, and then I am the productivity coach for the office. So I train the new agents that come in.
Good.
And it's been fun. I really enjoy the coaching and training.
I do too.
Portion of it.
I always felt like I was a teacher at heart.
I know, me too. So it's been really fun and So
how long have you been with Keller Williams?
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm probably just finishing up my 15th year, heading into my 16th. Yeah.
Nice. Are you the broker there?
No, I am not the broker.
No. You have a team.
Yep, but I do have a team here. Yeah. Good. My son is my business partner.
Nice. Is he licensed too?
Yeah. Yep. And we're licensed in both Minnesota and Wisconsin because we're right on it. Ours is a border town.
Great. Yep. Great. That's another thing we have in common, actually.
Really?
My son works with me too.
Oh,
and he's a licensed broker as well. And of course, he'll take over our firm, you know, in the end. But so my son is, and my husband and I, we're just a small team as well.
Yeah.
We've had our brokerage for 22 years now. And, we did REO listings for about 12 years, and we had about 25 agents at one point, over the course of our career. It takes 100 agents to come through your door to get 25 to stick,
Right. Oh, totally.
For a little while, right? Stick for a little while.
Yep.
You know?
So you have your own brokerage then?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
We never worked for another brokerage. In 2000, we got our sales licenses. We formed our corporation of record, and we hired a broker of record.
Oh,
And
okay.
we paid him an override. Back then, you only had to be licensed for 12 months.
Oh,
Broker course.
yeah.
So that's what I did. That's the way we set it up, and we had an exit plan in place
nice.
with that broker.
Yeah.
So as soon as I secured my broker license in about 14 months, and, we fired the broker.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's always been our brokerage. We never have worked for another firm. It's always been us, our brand from the start. And we've enjoyed it.
That's great.
It's been a good life.
Yep. No, I've actually thought about that a few times throughout my journey, about doing that. And I just, for whatever reason, it just made more sense for me to stay, to stay where I'm at. And, but yeah, it's definitely something that we think about every so often.
Well, never too late.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So,
well, let's see. How is your market doing where you're at?
It's good.
Slowing down?
We are seeing it slow down a little bit. We're seeing price reductions again, which is really interesting because at coaching the new agents, they don't know what a price reduction is. So it's kind of
I
like,
can't even imagine that.
I know. I'm like, okay, so we need to talk about scripting, what to say, how to get one, what it is, why you need it, the concept that a price reduction is a new listing.
Yeah.
One of my coaches taught me that, like, you need to think about a price reduction as a new listing.
Yeah.
Because if it's not currently selling at its price, you need to, it becomes a new listing at a new price.
Yeah.
And
I'll be honest with you, typically when I do a price reduction as well, like I'm just doing that on one of my listings too, I even update the photos.
Yes.
I was like, okay, something's not right. Either paint this wall or do that or do this, and then I take all new photos and like you said, I launch it with a new price reduction. I launch it just like a new
listing.
New photos and new marketing description.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it all right back out there again with a new price.
Well, sometimes just changing that primary photo is enough to get people think it's a different house. If they've been looking and seeing it. It is strange that we've not had to think of or do price reductions for the last probably 3 years.
Right.
So it shouldn't surprise me that these new agents, don't really know what it is or how to get it or whatever. So we're talking about that a lot in our market here, just because we are starting to see some price reductions again. So.
Yeah, and I was having this conversation with one of my sellers, and I'm explaining to him, in a shifting market like this, you can't just look at a CMA that's based on comparables that have sold in the last 6 months. You can't just, the value is there on paper,
right?
But it's not moving. That means you need to go and take a really hard look at what it's actively competing against.
Yep.
And you need to be on the very low end, because if you're not the lowest thing, the lowest comparable on the market, that's what's going to sell. And I think that's what's really important. And that's what even sellers are experiencing, this denial. They're in denial,
They think it's like it was 4 months ago. I always tell my sellers, it's a beauty pageant and a price war.
Yes.
If you're not the best looking in your pricing category, they're just going to use your home to sell, to sell other houses.
Right.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
So this has been fun watching it shift again.
Yeah. I know it's interesting to see what will happen here. So yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Do you have anything else for us?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess, I do, when going back to the video and, my small community, and I don't know how many of your listeners, what areas they're in, but we do a lot of special events too. So we have a event coming up called Bubbles and Baubles that we're on year 9. It's a women's ladies jewelry swap event that we do every year, and it's like a red carpet event. We rent out one of our local wineries, and they get amazing swag bags, free food, free wine, prizes throughout the night. And we do it as a charity event for a local our charity called Dress for Success. And so they get to bring clothing donations. And so basically they show up with like jewelry that they no longer want or wear. And then we set up like a store and they get to swap it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. We have that coming up. And again, the lead generation part of that event is I'm the one calling all of my business, people saying, hey, do you want to donate something in the swag bag? And so it's a really great lead generation opportunity. And then, of course, inviting, my people. It's making the call. Hey, did you get the invite? Are you going to make it this year?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really fun event that we love to do.
Do you need to mute yourself?
I know.
I get like that too.
I think I'm good for a minute there. I was having a choking attack. But so that's going to be really fun. So we have 125 women coming, and I always make sure the swag bag is really fun. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. And to get the swag, I do a $100 gift card to the winery for best swag in the bag. So I was thinking, okay, how can I up level the items that they're getting? Because I don't want people to come to my event and get a bag full of paper, coupons and stuff. So I have this rule, like if you're putting a coupon in the swag bag, you have to have something fun attached to it.
That's a cool idea.
So, and then I'm like, okay, if I give $100 prize to the person that has the coolest swag, it might make them want to do something really fun for swag. Yeah. So I started doing that a few years ago, and it's really made a difference on what people are willing to put in the bag. And the ladies at the event, they actually vote. So in the bag is the list of all the swag, and they circle their favorite item and then turn it in. And at the end of the night, we count them and then give away the gift card.
That's cool.
So it's pretty fun. So we have that next Wednesday. So you'll see my social media, just littered with people posting, from the event next Wednesday. So that'll be fun. And then I also have a ladies networking group that I started 15 years ago. And that's really brought me a lot of business. And that's kind of where I get my tribe, where I've grown my tribe. Nice. And so that's fun. We meet once a month. We had that yesterday. We meet once a month, and I always have an educational speaker there to do a presentation. They get lunch, and then we just do networking. And so that's been a really great way to get to know, again, fellow business owners. I'm going to grab one of the cards.
Okay. So that's what my question was, is that's not fellow realtors. Those are fellow business owners in your network.
So that is definitely something I started when I got into real estate 15 years ago. I started in 2008.
Yeah.
And I knew
a good time to start, huh?
I'm like, okay, all the realtors are leaving the business. Like, people are not.
We're in a free for all.
How am I going to make my phone ring? Right?
Real estate business.
Yeah. So I designed this little postcard, and you can see on the bottom. Let's see over here. It has a little blank circle that says, check out our next meeting, and then I'm able to write the date down here. So
Okay.
it makes the life of the postcard like forever. I never have to change it.
Nice.
And then here it just has the price of the meeting, what it all includes. Here's a picture here. I don't know if you can see
it.
this.
Yeah.
And then on the back it has our mission statement.
Okay.
So when I started the group, I designed this card and I just hit the pavement. And I just went anywhere I thought I could find a local business owner. And we call our group St. Croix Valley Girls. And our county is St. Croix Valley. Mm-hmm. We're in the St. Croix Valley. And so I'm like, okay, it's going to be St. Croix Valley Girls. And that was my networking. That was my way of lead generating, because I knew I needed to get in front of people. Yes. But I didn't want it to be icky. I didn't want to be the salesperson.
Right.
And so I knew I needed to be providing something of value. And so, St. Croix Valley Girls was born, and that was 15 years ago. And prior to COVID, we were getting about 65 to 70 women a month show up for the meeting.
Very cool.
And now, we're kind of back down around 35 to 40, depending on who the speaker is and what time of year and whatever. But here's the beautiful thing about having a group like that. I don't get to see them all every month, because maybe some months people can't come or whatever, but they're getting 3 emails a month from me reminding them about the meeting. So, when you think about your real estate career, you want to make sure that, you're touching your people in some way, shape, or form enough times throughout a year so they don't forget about you. Mm-hmm. And even though, they're getting an invitation to something like St. Croix Valley Girls, they know I'm a realtor.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I make sure that I'm getting that, it's like my Keller Williams logo is actually on the postcard here.
Right.
So they know I'm a realtor, and, it's kind of like I got a freebie, right? Like I get free touches every month that are not annoying, because they actually want to know, oh, who's the next speaker? What day is the next meeting? Mm-hmm. And with my group, I always meet the the second Thursday of the month. Good. So again, when you talk about how to make it efficient for your schedule, if you're going to plan a monthly event, make sure you're planning it on the first Wednesday of the month, or the second Thursday, or the last Thursday, or whatever, because that way people will get it ingrained in their mind, and they're like, oh, I can't schedule something that day. I know that's St. Croix Valley Girls Day. Mm-hmm. So it makes it a lot easier for people to remember. And so I always try to find a way to provide value to everyone I come across in my daily life. The other thing that we do, and I should have brought one back here, I don't have one in my office here, but I partner with other local business owners and do coupon deals.
Cool.
So with one of them is our local pizza place. Yeah. We do a deal where they gave me a coupon. I print the coupons. They just provide the logo. And what we do is it's a free pizza. So I have a coupon. It has EJ's Pizza's logo on it, my logo on it. It's the size of a business card. And I always use very nice glittery paper. We have this cardstock glitter that my printer uses. So it's really high quality. And anytime I'm sending someone a handwritten note, they get a coupon.
Oh, cool.
So what I try to do is find a business owner. If I have 10 cities in my area that I predominantly serve, mm-hmm. I find a restaurant owner in each of those cities to partner with, mm-hmm. so that I know if I'm sending a card to New Richmond, Wisconsin, mm-hmm. I grab that coupon. If I'm sending a card to River Falls, so mm-hmm. I know if I'm sending it to an address in River Falls, they're not going to want to drive to New Richmond to get the free pizza.
Right.
They're going to want a free pizza from the guy in their town.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really easy way to walk into that pizza guy and say, hey, here's what I use them for. Here's what, my program looks like. Are you interested in being a part of it? Mm-hmm. And like with the pizza is one of our really one of our more expensive items,
Mm-hmm.
it's $6 for the pizza. That's what I pay.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what you have to remember is I'm not paying for each coupon. I'm only paying the $6
Yeah.
on the ones that are redeemed, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you can find a vendor that's willing to either give you the item for free,
Yeah.
or go half and half and give you wholesale cost. So we do another with a deli that does a free sandwich.
Uh-huh.
So if they bring in the coupon, they get a free sandwich. And at the end of the day, you know, that's costing me like, I don't know, $2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if your recipient does not use the coupon, it's still like, oh, you know, Jill's the one that's always providing value. Every single time I get a note from her, she's giving me a coupon for a free coffee or a free pizza or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I always think about everything that I'm doing in my business in terms of marketing as how can I 10x this?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make an impact on more people than just one?
Mm-hmm.
So another little thing that I do is at our local schools, we have community education.
Mm-hmm.
Most communities have them,
Mm-hmm.
but I do classes there. I have a first-time buyer class that I do there, and then
wow, very
yep,
cool.
and then I do a seller class as well. And
Mm-hmm.
what I love about it is they have a catalog that gets mailed out to the community, and it goes to, you know, I don't know, probably over 1,000 people in our community to sell their classes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the community ed leaders are always clamoring for new class content. And so they will gladly, if you call them and say you want to do a class on, you know, my class is called Plan Your Perfect Move.
Nice.
So the beautiful thing is I tell the community ed, I don't need any money for materials or for my time teaching. I
Right.
just want you to fill up the room for me. I'll teach for free.
Right.
So I do my class, and you know, they'll say, well, what's the minimum number of people you'll have to still hold class? And I go, well, if you can get me one person, it's no different than if I go on a listing appointment down the street. So I said, as long as there's one person in a seat, they're just going to get a one-on-one class.
Right.
But usually they have multiple people there who sign up for the class. And I've also had people call me and just say, hey, I saw your ad in the community ed catalog. I didn't have time to make it to the class, but I need to sell my house. You know, can you come over and give me a price opinion on my house? So that's totally free. It costs me nothing, and they fill the room for me.
Mm-hmm.
You create the presentation one time and it's done. You have it forever. And so I do quarterly. I think I have 5 different cities in my area that I serve.
Cool.
Community ed. So I do that. I'm just trying to think. So like I said, I'm always looking for a way, like, sure, I can go do a listing appointment for one person, but if I can go and do a listing appointment for 10 people at a time, I'd way rather do that. It's way more efficient for me to use my time that way.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just think what else in terms of marketing that we do.
And one thing I really want to reiterate to the people who are watching and even in replay is all the things I'm hearing. You have a handwritten correspondence.
Yes.
And you have an email correspondence.
Yep.
You know, these are the real foundations of your business, you know, because I say it all the time. We don't own our social media audiences.
No,
we really don't, you know, and unless you're driving that social media traffic to somewhere where you can that email list, get face to face with them, or get a hand, you know, an address that you can correspond in writing with them, you know, that solidifies the relationship. You know,
well, and it's really, and even when you look at the coupon deal, so what I love about the coupon deal is, for one, I got to lead generate and meet a new person when I was looking for new partners. I always have something to ask them, you know. So if I decide I want to meet some new people, I walk into businesses with samples of my coupon and I say, hey, look, I have this whole vendor program. Here's what you get if you're a part of it. You get a free video with me interviewing you. If you want to take advantage of the coupon, we can do a partnership with a coupon. I'm going to get your name in front of multiple people every month. Why would you not want to partner with me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's that. And then on the other side of it, especially with the coupons, the people who are in my database, they're getting the free coupons. So it's allowing me, through a new relationship that I built with someone in the community who owns a business, I'm supporting them, and I'm also providing value to the people in my database at the same time. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone involved, you know? So, so that's the other thing that I have is I have a really extensive vendor guide. So the other great way to meet new business owners in your community is to put together a vendor guide. And again, that's kind of win-win, because it's win for the vendor. It's win for me because I can use that to create value for my people in my database. But I just walk into the HVAC company and I say, you know, I call them on the phone. Hi, Mr. HVAC. My name's Jill. I'm a local realtor in Hudson. I have this amazing vendor guide that I give to all of my customers and my clients and other people that I know in the community. I'm interviewing new HVAC people to be in my vendor guide. Do you have 10 minutes in your schedule next week for me to pop down and talk to you about my program? It's totally free for you.
Nice.
Well, guess what? I got another relationship. He's trusting me. He's knowing like I'm the go-to gal. And, you know, and again, I could do a video with him if he wanted it. But, you know, the vendor guide is another great way to get in front of and meet new business owners in your community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're also providing a value to your customers, you know, or to your people who are in your database.
Yeah. So, it's fun. You can do a lot with coupons. I did that back in the day. I set up an account with Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
And, you know, it's a national franchise. So you're working with that manager, and, you know, and he, you know, they collected the coupons and I just went in there once a week and cashed them out. But, you know, so it's a national franchise. You're required to use their colors when you print the postcard. But I had a postcard printed that, you know, have coffee and donuts on us.
Yes.
You know? And of course they had to fill out their name and address and email and phone number to cash it in. That's all they had to do. So it was a free coffee and donut. And I used that coupon like a business card, really. You know, one year when the market was crashing back in the day, right? We had an agent that pulled together, like he had a trailer and he pulled together. We all, from the office, we all brought our garage sale stuff, you know. One man's junk is another man's treasure. So we all collaborated, brought in our extra stuff, and we packed it down in boxes, and we were totally organized. But he had a trailer. So every Saturday morning, we had a yard sale at our open houses. 100 people will come out for a yard sale, you know. But this was when the market was crashing. We had a plethora of vacant listings. I mean, like, you know, every other house was a vacant home. Back in the day, you know.
Your sellers probably loved that.
We had 100 vacant listings, you know, that were all short sales. We specialized in short sales. And so that's how we got that market moving. Was we held a yard sale every Saturday morning at one of these vacant short sale listings.
That's a fabulous idea.
We put out a yard sale and we had tables. We packed it up and packed it down with military precision. But we put the tables out, put the merchandise out. I was at the bottom of the driveway. I was passing out the coupons. And the agents, I'd have 3 or 4 agents at the top of the driveway that would funnel the people in through the garage and into the house and toward the property with them.
What a great idea.
A lot of short sales that way.
Well, I think at the end of the day, right?
Is a great giveaway item. and it's like a business card,
Yeah.
and like you said, you only cash it in if they take advantage.
Exactly. Well, like Kelly just is mentioning that putting together a coupon book for part of a housewarming basket,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And not only that, like Kelly, like you just said, Julie, if you put together a little coupon book, you just use it as your business card, as you're handing people your card, say, here,
Yeah.
here's another great value add that
Yeah.
I can provide for you. And, do you guys remember the old Happenings books? It was called Happenings, and it was a coupon book of, we have them in our area, but it's basically a community coupon book.
Yeah.
And all the vendors used to pay money to be in the book. So here's the other thing, the other piece of this. You could also, if you were going to do something like that, you could charge money.
Yeah.
But, as far as I'm concerned, like I just want something. I want the relationship with the vendor, and I want to have something to provide for my customers. So, charging them, it's kind of like, yeah, you could charge, but, I'm not going to charge. I just want to use it as a way to build new relationships. And so I feel like, if I'm the one providing the value, they're not going to use the realtor down the street if I'm giving them something for free.
Absolutely.
That's my hope, is that, they're going to feel like they want to help us back because we help them. So, and again, it's kind of like the whole be the mayor of your town, right? And whatever town you live in. But like, since 2016, my business plan that I create for myself every single year is at the top: how to be Hudson famous. Because I want to be famous in my town.
Yes.
And so that's sort of what just trying to think, like, everything that I do, how do I level it up to provide more value for my people in my database who are receiving my stuff, but also for the people who are on my vendor program, So
one thing I want to reiterate too is you've been doing this a while.
Yes.
And it probably, like you said earlier, it probably wasn't perfect in the beginning.
No.
And it was probably scary, and it was probably frustrating, and you probably wanted to quit more than once. But you didn't, right?
Yep.
And I think that's important, when agents are looking or they're hearing, oh, this works for me, do this and it'll give you 10 listings. Well, you have to be careful not to chase that shiny object. And you have to understand that the person that's presenting that, or the person like such as yourself that's been doing this for years, that it takes a while.
Right.
In the beginning, it takes a while to get this perfect and produce for you. And I think that's important for agents to understand that have to decide logistically what they can pull together and do consistently, right? And put a stake in the ground. That's what I call it. Their stake in the ground. What they're going to do consistently for their business. And that's important. So I hope who's watching this is hearing that in your voice.
Right. Well, and that is the thing. Like, you don't have money coming out of the gate. You don't have team members to host a big jewelry swap event. But over the course of my 15-year career, it all evolves. And, you can still do a pie event. You can still, even as a one-person thing, you just say, if I can afford 20 pies, you send the invite out, and on the invite, you say quantities are limited. It's like, they don't need to know you only have 20 pies in your budget. Just send your postcard out to everyone in your database and say, quantities are limited, sign up today. And if your budget of 20 pies is gone like that instantly, when people call to sign up, you just say, oh my gosh, it was such an amazing opportunity. I sold out so fast. Next year, I will make sure to, we'll get you on the list for next year, but I'm sorry, we're already full. So that is the other thing that agents don't realize, is when you're first starting out, don't feel like you can't do a pie event if you can't afford to buy 300 pies.
Right.
Not 300 people are going to show up for your pie event. For your first one, it's more about they're going to get your postcard and go, oh, Julie is so nice. She just sent me a coupon to come to her pie event, or a postcard to come to her free pie event. Unfortunately, we're going to be gone and can't make it, but that was really sweet of her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about, how much you can offer. If you structure it in a way where you set your budget, and like we do a free movie event, we know we can seat 300 people. When 300 people are signed up, like it's done, game over. And in the beginning, maybe you do a movie event and you only have, 50 people come or whatever, so there are ways to do some of it on a smaller scale. Don't think you have to, have a bunch. Well, the other thing you can do is find sponsors. So for my,
absolutely. You can do things like even your pie thing, like on a smaller scale. We just bought the 20 pies and we hand delivered them. We didn't put it out in coupons, but those were our referral sources for that year. That's how we decided.
That's a great way.
Referral sources, so we hand delivered a pie to them that year. We did that as well once. Now Kelly has a question down here for you.
So I am still selling, Kelly. I do still sell. I'm not selling a lot though. I think I sold 25 units last year. But I do still work with some of my, close friends and that sort of thing. But I do have agents on my team, yes.
That help you with these marketing projects.
Yeah. And then I have a marketing coordinator and I have a transaction coordinator. And then the agents on my team sell, but I'm still selling a little bit. My goal is to not have to sell, I'm working my way out of production, but it takes a while.
I think she's focusing on the marketing projects.
Yes.
So do the agents on your team help you with the marketing project?
No. I mean, they help me come up with the idea. We strategize together, coming up with new ideas for fun things to do as a team. But I do have a marketing person that helps me coordinate all of the marketing for most of the things that we do. He manages our social media and is putting things on social media. But, as far as the event planning, we have all of our events that we repeat every year. So that's the other beautiful thing is once you do it one time, you're going to have your conversation after, or, if you're a one-person team, you're going to sit down with your notebook after the event. And you're going to say what worked and what didn't work. What are our opportunities for improvement next year? How can we make the event better? And each year we just brain dump, what worked and what didn't work and how can we improve it. And we have our events pretty streamlined that, all of our team now pretty much knows, what we need to do to get it off. But,
you start early too.
Yeah.
We did a Christmas event for a lot of years and, we started in July. But I definitely had a person that was making those arrangements for me as well.
It definitely helps to have leverage in your life. Thank you, Kelly. That's the part of real estate that I really enjoy is, being the face of the team, coming up with the event ideas and actually seeing I'm a face-to-face girl, if you can't tell already, just from the few minutes you've been with me, but that's why I started St. Croix Valley Girls. I'm like, I need to get myself in front of people. And there was multiple networking groups in my town, but I knew in 2008, when everyone was leaving the real estate industry, I needed a leadership position within my community. And I'm like, yes, I can go join someone else's group, but why am I not just being the leader of my own group? Because I'm the one, I control everything. And Another great one is I created a Facebook group called Women Business Owners of the St. Croix Valley.
Nice.
So it is attracting women business owners who live in the area who I have not met yet. Because after COVID, I'm like, okay, my St. Croix Valley Girls attendance has dropped, you know, like way down. I need to meet more people. Where am I going to meet more people? Well, I started a Facebook group and I'm like, well, I want to attract business owners, women business owners who might like to come to St. Croix Valley Girls so I can meet them in person. So I started this group on Facebook for women business owners. And now the group is like probably 2.5 years old, and we have almost 1,000 women in it.
Nice.
And
I love me some group, man.
Yeah, but the beauty about being the leader of your own Facebook group in your community, whether it's women business owners or just, you know, I also created another group called We Are Hudson. So if you live in Atlanta, start a group called We Are Atlanta or whatever. And being the leader of your Facebook group, it's your group. Like it's hands off. Like I get to do anything and everything I want to do in that group.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Oh,
Nobody
I love groups.
It's your group. It's your group.
Yep. You control it. You control the content. You can drive the traffic. You can advertise all you want in it.
And you stand out. And you stand out as a leader because you are the leader of something. So going back to St. Croix Valley Girls, it's like I knew I don't want to be in someone else's group. Anyone can do that. I want to have my own group.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, you have shared a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully somebody will take one idea and run with it, right?
I'm sure they will. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah.
It's almost noon, so
it was super fun.
I know you've got an appointment you need to get to.
Yep. Sounds great. Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate you joining us. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Kelly says thank you too.
Yes. Thank you, Kelly, for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.